Howdy. Anyone remember the Built to Rule range? No? Lucky you. Well, that was Hasbro's first attempt at combining Transformers with Lego. Well, the concept of Lego. It didn't do well. About a few months ago, they tried again, this time removing all elements of transformation. Thus, Creo was born. They've released quite a few sets now, and you have to admit, the line is clearly a success given how there are more figures coming down the pipeline. I bought Jazz, just to say I've got one. So, let's take a look. The set consists of 122 pieces, which may include the disassembled crayons. You have a set of stickers, one of which isn't used, oddly enough, and of course the instruction manual. And just to show you Creo's similarity to Lego, good way of telling them apart is that Lego pieces have Lego printed on the knobs, whereas with Creo, one of the knobs is hollowed out. As Diancis said in his review of Mirage, this may have something to do with copyright, but as Demolisher 1234 shows, you can use certain Lego bricks and panels to replace missing pieces. The first model shown in the instructions is of course the vehicle, and while it's not bad per se, it's a bit too boxy to be a sports car. In fact, if they were to remove the spoiler, put a spare tyre on the roof, and replace the metallic grey with green, this would make a pretty good brawn. The deco is a mixture of the G1 decals with the metallic grey of live-action movie Jazz. Personally, I think white would have worked better. And the decals, symbols, headlights, you see underneath the grille, those are all stickers. The car rolls very nicely, more so on a smooth, hard surface. The doors open, though the Crayon driver can't get out that way thanks to these pieces on either side. Good thing the roof opens up. That's all there is to say about the vehicle mode. While Jazz somewhat resembles his G1 counterpart here, he suffers the same limb problems that plagued the smaller Creos and Mirage. Stiff-looking legs with arms that resemble flippers. Also, as with all deluxe and basic Creos, he has limited articulation. He's not a total brick, despite what he's made of. But even the ball joints are restricted by the design of the sockets. The addition of fists and knee joints would have helped a lot. Well, I suppose you could buy multiple copies of sets, mix up the parts and build your own designs. Intentional or not, one thing I quite like about Jazz is the Creos obviously don't transform, but some of his parts move as if he does. The arms fold up neatly, as if they're about to collapse into his chest. The doors still move. This panel on his back flips up and down. Not sure if this applies to all Creos, but it's still rather cool, I find. And as with most construction sets, you have leftover parts in both modes. Here, a lot of the pieces are essential for building the car, but most of them are so big that you can't place them anywhere without affecting the looks or posability. In car mode, most of the parts left out give the robot its articulation, such as these ball-jointed bricks. Deluxe Creos are the smallest kits to come with Crayons, which are essentially Hasbro's equivalent of Lego men. You have the driver and little G1 Jazz. They have the same aesthetics and articulation as Lego men, but they both feel a lot more posable than Creo Jazz. The driver can wear the helmet or the cap. And if you have lots of crayons, you can mix and match torsos, legs, heads and helmets. Halloween costume, anyone? Overall, Jazz is a decent buy. Though if you can afford them, I'd recommend picking up one of the larger Creo-Os first. Most of them look better, and they're generally more posable. My next review will be on Generations Thrust. Until then, till all are one. Well, there's quite a few leftover pieces there. Who do I call for cleanup?